And that's the reason why betting apps work.
Coming out of survival mode, you need some risk cushion, right? Like something to fall back on.
वो alternate ladder नहीं है, एक ये भी एक प्रॉब्लम है, because nobody can give you a guarantee of a job कि नहीं आओ कल 4 फीचर बना लेते हैं, एक ही फीचर बनाना है.
What do you think about India's youth's ability to take risks, like coming out of survival mode? And my point is, like, you can only take risks when your minimum needs are met. कि घर, कपड़ा, मकान, right? How do you advise someone, like?
It's difficult. तुम कैसे एडवाइस करोगे ना, मतलब सब या उसके बाद मतलब लिटरली मतलब कोई बीमार है. I think that there was a great article on Hacker News which talks about your ability to take risks या your जो entrepreneurship वाला जो दिमाग है, when your basic needs are met, then it works a lot better than when you are in survival. So we just don't have to advise. Somebody also has to listen, right? And the idea of quick money इसीलिए works, and that's the reason why betting apps work and everything works, because there's nothing else which is giving them a quick solution. Everything is also has a lot of maybe, because nobody can give you a guarantee of a job in no field, right? So वो सब तो है ही डर यार. मतलब I think the only thing which helps, which जो लोग देखते हैं, is to see other people. You help 10 people start a business. You go out there and you personally help 5 people start a business, right? And they start with some money, other people will follow suit, right? They will start more and more into, right? And I think, like, I come from UP, where a lot of people are focused on government exams, right? UPSC and everything. I don't know how to break, like, at a very large scale, like, because most people know that they would, I think, deep level, like the level of the amount of effort they're putting into it, everything, they kind of know that they will not make it. It's very, very evident. Nobody has to, and people can tell it, like, not in a very taunting way. Like, it's not like you will not make it, it's always in taunting way. If somebody says to me, Vidash, you cannot do sales, you have to really change your character to do sales. That's good advice. That's good feedback. That I should focus on my strengths, A, B, and C. Why will I spend 10 years focusing on an exam, which always has such a low probability of anybody cracking it? And then I really don't want to study, and I'm hardly studying. And people who are spending their entire lives 20 hours a week for like 3 years, 2 years, they have some level of probability to get it, right? I think that realism, I think somebody should tell them, but I think also that there should be an alternate route. I think if I'm telling you the reality, that Naman, suppose you're not good at tech, right? And you say, no, but I have a job in tech which is paying me 40,000, right? I don't have a job in sales. Are people getting into sales? So if you see people building, if you see so many people are able to make 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, and eventually move up the ladder of, making 50,000, 1 lakh, more people will follow suit.
Yeah.
वो alternate ladder नहीं है, एक ये भी एक problem है, and it's a very difficult problem to solve. And that's why you cannot convince somebody. कैसे क्या बोलोगे, मतलब वो like और क्या करूँ?
That's true. But I think coming out of survival mode, you need some risk cushion, right? Like something to fall back on. Matlab, you see people from well-to-do families, they have the risk cushion of money from their, like, parents. And then that's where you see where people are really starting businesses because they have a fallback. My understanding is that if you have a fallback like that, it's easier to take risks. Whereas otherwise you have to build it, like, you do job for a few years, save up, build a risk cushion, and then to experiment with things you're passionate about. But we have seen in the West that they already have risk cushion from, let's say, social welfare. They have the schemes. We don't have any of that. Like, we don't have that kind of scheme at that level where, where you can, like, rely for food and shelter. on the government, right? So we have our stories like, okay, anyone coming from middle class or like a background, they first have to get a job, like any job, which they can decently do well. Come out of that, uh, learn more, of course, like build skills and save up, and then lower your expenses and then try something out.
Yes, and you get 1 or 2 shots. And it's really difficult. But suppose you have nothing to lose. Suppose your family earns 10,000, right? And then you say, and they have given you enough support for you to do like 1 layer of college education from the local college. Then at that moment, you know, I want to plan for UPSC. Or not even 10,000, even 30, 40,000. Right? You don't have like your parents can give you enough to eat and a bed to sleep on. But then if you're spending 5 years and you see like tons of like this is the reality. Right? Either people are like, if you look at like the youth of India in like majority of the most populated parts, you see a lot of them either preparing for government exams or doing local politics. Right? But the idea is that why are they doing it? Right? If there would have been, or if there are decent examples of people being successful, starting with something very simple and being able to sell and being successful, I think a lot of them won't do it. That's my thesis. And they would eventually, because they don't have, and there is so much parental pressure. That the parental pressure goes away if you tell your parents that you are studying. And even if you're 25 or even if you're 28, you're studying, they say, okay, he's studying.
Yeah.
He something good. I think all of those things combined, it's a difficult problem to solve.
I think it is. Yeah.
But I think in the future, as we are progressing, as we are consuming a lot, as consumption is going up, I think some of these problems will get solved. Because a lot more people will become entrepreneurs. A lot more people will start building. A lot more people will start selling. Right? They will do simple innovations. I think we have seen that. We have seen the examples of Uber coming in, Ola being built. And then we have seen Rapido and Namayatri saying, okay, but why do you want to build a payment system inside? Right? All we need to do is match drivers to the people. That's all. Right? Yeah. So people, okay, why do you need to build hundreds of things when I can do the job with like a very minimal layer? I think those things are getting solved. Matlab, you have to rely on your past experiences and brain slightly ज़्यादा. किसी brute force से काम नहीं होता कि नहीं आओ कल 4 फीचर बना लेते हैं. एक ही फीचर बनाना है. दिमाग लगाओ, समझो, डेप्थ में जाओ, रिसर्च करो, ठीक है, कम चीज़ें करो, ठीक है, जैसे बहुत अच्छी बॉनफायर हो रही है, बैठे हो दोस्तों के साथ, लेकिन सुबह उठना है, अगर ऐसे नहीं बहुत सुबह नहीं 10 बजे भी उठना है, तो फिर चले जाओ 12 साढ़े 12 तक कि भाई जाओ, आधे घंटे बाद नींद आएगी. But I think those kind of some level of slowing down, बहुत नहीं, थोड़ा